Good morning students of class 10. Today we are going to cover two topics, the consequences of the war and the nature of the revolt. Okay, nature of the revolt. So today we are going to finish the chapter after discussing these two topics. Okay, so what were the results, what were the effects of the revolt of 1857, or we can say the first war of independence. Okay, so there were many changes, administrative changes, then reorganization of the army, then policy towards Indian princes, policy towards common people, divide and rule. So these were the changes, these were the effects that came into being after the first war of independence. Okay, so let's discuss the first one, administrative changes. Administrative changes, it meant that now the rule of East India Company was ended. An act was made on 2nd August 1858 which was called Government of Indian Act. According to that, the rule of the company was abolished. Okay, and the power to rule over the India directly went into the hands of British Crown. It meant that the British government now would be able to look after all the administrative things to rule over the country of India. Okay, so this was the first administrative change that happened after the 1857 revolt. Okay, so in this way we can see the impact of the war. The company went away and British government took the power to rule over us. Second administrative change was that it abolished the board of directors and court of directors. So there were two bodies of East India companies, just we told, board of directors and court of directors. So these two were also abolished, removed, and the powers of these two bodies were transferred to the Secretary of State for India. Okay, next administrative change was that the recruitments in the civil services was made open through competition. Yes, now the able Indian could directly give exams to qualify the civil services exams and can be recruited in the administration to look after the administrations. So this was also a major change, we can say, after the war, after the revolt. Next, what is very important, the designation, the post of Governor General was changed and it was converted into Viceroy. Now, after 1858, the Governor General of India would be called as Viceroy of India. Yes, and the first Viceroy of India was Lord Canning. Okay, so it is very important, please learn it. So these were the administrative changes we have just discussed. Next, reorganization of the army. We all know that Sepoy revolted at first against the Britishers. Okay, and they were just problems in the army because the soldiers belonged to Indian origin. Many of the troops were Indian origin. Okay. So what happened? We just revolted against them. So just to check out the further any revolt by the soldiers, Britishers changed in the army. Okay, what they did, they recruited British officials on the important posts. First of all, they recruited British officials on the important posts. Yes. Next thing they did, that they increased the British soldiers in the army. We can just say that they just increased the British troops in proportion to the Indian soldiers. So earlier there was mismatch. There were less British soldiers and there were more Indian soldiers. But now they kept a ratio proportion between these two. Yes, as many soldiers were Britishers now, and the same numbers of soldiers were belong to Indian now. Okay, so just to check out, just to control the revolt if it occurred any time. Yes, the next thing, what they changed in army, that they just recruited different sections. Like they recruited people, soldiers who belong to different castes, different religions. Yes, so that the unity would not be happened. Earlier we saw that Mangal Pandey, who was a Brahmin, he declared, we can say, the war against the Britishers. Okay, so mostly we can say at that time were upper castes Hindus, but after 1858 the many soldiers from different caste groups, from different religious groups were recruited, so that if there were different kinds of people, there cannot be unity among them. Yes, so these were the important things that they did in the army. Okay. Next changes, policy towards Indian princes. Policy towards Indian princes. Earlier we have learnt that policy of doctrinal lapse and the annexation of Awadh was in the name of misgovernance and misrule. Okay, so these kind of policies were just denied now, and Indian princes were granted that their estates would not be annexed by the Britishers by using such kind of policies. So they were just granted freedom, autonomous freedom to rule over in their territories. Okay, so this we have done. Next changes that came, policy towards common people. Towards common people. Why common people just participated in the revolt? Because we have seen the social and religious causes, in which we have discussed many things. Just one point I would like to discuss, that like the act like Sati system, widow remarriage act, okay, Hindu property act was also there. So these acts just hurt the sentiments of the people, common people, because they were making laws against the custom of the Hindus and other groups of Indians. So in this way common people became annoyed. So now the Britishers learned the lesson from the revolt, and they just said that now they will not make such kind of rules which will be against the custom of the Indians. Yes, so these things were granted to the common people, we can say, and all there were many other social causes, like the peasants were just uh, put on Britishers used to take heavy taxes from Britishers, okay, from peasants, jamindars were also giving a lot of taxes to the government. So we can say the common people, like peasants, and the other people like jamindars, yes, Hindus, Muslims. So these actually were the common people, and for every section, like we have discussed, for the peasants, for the rural, for the jamindars, for Hindus and Muslims. Now Britishers said that they will not make such laws, they will not implement such any kind of policies which could hurt their sentiments. So we can say a kind of pledge to the people of India. Yes. Next change, divide and rule. It is very important. Divide and rule. Britishers learned a lesson from the revolt. As a result, Britishers decided to divide the people, because first time we saw that Indians, many sections of the society, they just combined it together, they came together and declared war against the Britishers. Yes, and that's why the Britishers became aware that to stop such kind of revolt in future, they needed such kind of policy which would prohibit, which would limit the unity of the people. Yes, and that's why they adopted the policy of divide and rule, because when people are divided, it's become very easy to rule over them. So we can learn from the Britishers here, from the history, that if you want to rule over the people, first of all you have to divide them. In the name of caste you can divide, in the name of religion you can divide, in the name of a status like rich and poor, literate and illiterate. Like this, we can just divide the population, and then there will be no unity, so they cannot combinedly put effort against you if you are misbehaving, if your rule is not satisfactory to them. Okay, so in this way they just divided Hindus and Muslims. Okay, in India we can say they also divided lower castes and upper castes. Yes, in class 10 you will read, in our next chapters we will learn that how the Britishers supported the reservation of seat in polity for the Muslims, and they also advocated for the reservation of seats for the untouchables. So like this, they just tried to put a conflict between Hindus and Muslim, and between upper caste and lower caste, and in this way they very easily divided the people. And after that, after the first war of independence, they again continue to rule over us. Yes, so in this manner we have completed the consequences of the war. Whatever they learned from the revolt, they just changed some of the rules to just pacify, to just pacify the Indian people, so that they could not declare war in future. Okay, so first one administrative changes we did. It is very important. Some of the points are there in books. Reorganization of the army we did. Policy towards the Indian princes. Policy towards common people. Then divided rule. So there are 4 or 5 changes that they did to stop any further war. Next topic we will discuss nature of the revolt. Nature of the revolt. In the beginning we started the chapter by using the lines that interpretation differ in history. Okay, and the revolt of 1857 was interpreted by the British historian as Sepoy Mutiny, and Indian historians said this revolt as first war of independence. So this thing we have to discuss in the topic nature of the revolt. And according to one British historian, and his name was Sir John Lawrence. Okay, actually he referred to this event as Sepoy Mutiny. Why? Because the Britishers, they did not want to give much importance to this revolt. Yes, because if they would say it something else, like for first war of independence, it could just ignite the spark of nationalism in the people. Okay, so just to avoid such kind of we can say publicity among the people, the rise of nationalism, they just declared it as the Sepoy Mutiny, because as we know that it was first started by Mangal Pandey, which was a soldier, and the issue was the grist cartridges, the use of grist cartridges. Okay, so just to put down the effect of this war, they declared it as Sepoy Mutiny. Yes, but our Indian historians referred it as first war of independence. Why first war of independence? Because first time we people showed unity, though it was limited only to North and Central India, though it was not spread in the whole parts of the India. Yes, but still we can say it was the first war of independence, because many of the sections of the society, not all but many of the sections of the society, like rulers, peasants, we can say, they participated, soldiers, yes, they participated in the revolt. Okay, and first time we just showed our courage against the brutal Britishers. Yes, though the revolt was failed, but we cannot say it that it was a complete failure. Okay, there is every one theory of Einstein, I don't know the name is, but to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So suppose we did the revolt, so definitely there will be some outcome, though it was suppressed, but still we achieved a lot. What we achieved? We just got inspired by the revolt. Though it was suppressed, but it ignited the spark of nationalism in the hearts of every Indian, we can say. Yes, and that's why Indian historians said this as first war of independence. Okay, and by referring it as tried to just arise the nationalism among the Indians. Okay, and this event today we have learned this topic. You have learned this topic, and definitely this event of history will also remind you that how people showed their courage towards the Britishers, and it will always inspire us if in future suppose something happens to us, suppose any country just has occupied us, okay, then in that case we will learn such kind of things, and our nationalism will be arised among us, and it will lead us the path, it will show us the path to just declare war against such kind or against the countries which are in practice of just occupying the other territories. Okay, so just to give the message of nationalism among the Indian people, Indian scholars declared as the first war of independence. So in this way we have completed the first chapter of history. Okay, in the next video we will start the next chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day.